and loving as we serve together as Rotarians. Amen.
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 Amen. I love it how like half of you are like bowing your head and then you got your eyes on the camera. Oh, our song is normally with Tracy Strait, but I haven't seen her today. So I think we're going to skip the song today. Our guests are Mike and Tim, and both of them will have proper introduction here in a little bit. There is no raffle, so it's straight to Happy Dollars. Who's got my Happy Dollar? Hand in the air.
I've got
Anybody?
one. I do.
All right, go ahead, Lynn.
I've got a Happy Dollar for Rebecca's husband. I was reading Facebook, and the UVA health system had a post announcing the research that he and a graduate student just published regarding an innovation or some major research on how hearing operates in our ears. And it's, I guess, a fairly significant finding, and one that's adding to the general knowledge of the humankind. So congratulations, Rebecca's husband.
And
Yeah.
I can't give you I'm not qualified to give details. Maybe Rebecca can tell everybody about it a little bit. Rebecca, you want to tell us a little bit about that research?
I could give you his email address.
There you go.
if you want accurate information.
Fair enough. Yeah, I read the article, found it fascinating, and couldn't tell you what it meant.
All I know is that he loves what he does, and he has collaborators, so I'm really proud of him. I'll give $1 for that.
All right.
Super.
I've got one other dollar.
All right.
The governor signed the state budget on May 21st last week, and the actual detailed planning money for the Virginia Museum of Natural History Waynesboro campus was included for 2021. Now we're waiting to hear. I'm waiting to hear back from them as to. I think basically what that means is if they lift the freeze on spending, we'll probably have that money to use July 2021, but I'm waiting for confirmation on that. But if anything, it's not a matter of if at this point, it's a matter of when. So that's big news for us.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. Was that a hand in the air or you swatting the bug?
I was giving Len a virtual high five for his hard work to get the museum locked in.
That'll cost you $1.
No problem. Charge me.
Put it on my bill.
Anybody else? Going once? Am I seeing anybody? All
I
right.
see Tracy is here now.
I do. Tracy, are you ready with the song? You can say no.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I would be happy to hear your song.
Okay. If you would allow me to screen share.
Maestro?
You got it. I did.
Thank you.
Yeah. I call this. Are you able to? Did I get it right, Tracy? Yep.
In light of Memorial Day.
There you go.
From every freedom.
Ring. No free. Name
my name on the Lord.
my rocks and hills.
Hills, thy woods and temple hills, My heart with rapture like that of
Oh, oh, all the trees, sweet freedom song. Let mortal tongues away, let all and free forsake, let all and break the sound prolong.
Thanks.
That
That
was
was,
good.
I think that's the closest we've been together in the last 3 months. Wonderful. Thank you, Tracy. Secretary's minute.
Yeah, 7 days minutes. You are muted by host. Am I on now?
Yes, ma'am.
I took you off.
Okay.
You're good.
Thank you. Last week you asked about, someone did about makeup. So we talked about the fact that we haven't had, since we haven't had official meetings, but I went back last week, I took the role the best that I could, and I made minutes just as I would if we were meeting face to face. So from now on, these are official meetings. I don't think because of the attendance that they will hold us to the standards that they have in the past. I think they just want to see us meet. So if you do something special, like the volunteer that Larry set out yesterday for the schools, then you will get a makeup. So anything you do over and above, if you attend this meeting, it is not a makeup, it will be a meeting. So from now on, this is officially our meeting until such time as Larry or Rebecca deems it not. A reminder that we never meet the first Thursday of July, and I believe that's the 3rd this year. So we will not meet then, so that's just a day out. We never have good attendance the week of the 4th of July, and everybody seems to enjoy that week break in there. I don't have anything to report on members as such. I did make the comment last week that things have been slow. I thought, dummy, that was a wrong thing to say. Rebecca, her board, myself, everybody has been really busy preparing for next year. Remember, we will begin in about 4 weeks. I think 4 weeks from today, Rebecca will be inducted as our new president. So yes, we are busy, just not in the same manner that we have in the past. The social calendar's gone, but the Rotary work continues. So if anybody has anything or they want me to know, please contact me. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you. Announcements. We get to start with our first Zoom induction with Mike Wilhelm. Mike, you ready?
Yes, I am. How is everybody?
Very well, thank you.
Good.
Mike, usually we're standing in front of everybody and we get to review a little bit and it's all warm welcome. But this one's a little different. So I heard that you received your package and
yes.
Everything's in good order. We'll be meeting on Zoom until further notice, and then we'll see what happens moving forward. All right, here comes the speech. Mike, you've been selected by members of the Waynesboro Noon Rotary Club to become one of us. Membership in Rotary is an honor and a privilege with corresponding duties and obligations, including service on club committees. Welcome to the Operations Committee. You'll be expected to participate in all 4 avenues of service and attend this club's meeting regularly when absent to make up. Because you represent a classification, it is your duty to tell us about your vacation and bring the ideals of Rotary to your business and profession. The community will know and judge Rotary by your actions. Therefore, membership in our organization must be limited to those who possess the qualities that will further the goals and ideals of Rotary. You have been chosen for membership because we are confident that this image and ideals of Rotary are safe in your keeping. This is where Dick puts his pen on you. And it is with great pleasure that we welcome you as a fellow member of the Waynesboro Noon Rotary Club. Congratulations. And we can't say enough about how much we look forward to all having lunch together one day. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much. I look forward to serving with you all. It's a great group.
Excellent.
Thank you.
A couple announcements from Waynesboro schools. You guys saw the email yesterday. They were looking for some people to fill in the volunteer slots with their meal distribution program, and the links to sign up for that or in that P-mail. My guess is that they're seeing people wanting to take vacations and shake it up a little bit and do a little something different. So, there may be some fatigue. I don't know, maybe not. But anyway, there's a lot of spots still open for next week. If you got it in you, go ahead and sign up, and don't forget to report those to Mary Ann for the benefit of the club. Also, Waynesboro Schools has reached out to us to round up somewhere around 600 cloth masks for their employees in anticipation of the upcoming school year. And of course, we don't know exactly what's happening there, but they are starting to plan and gather resources and organize that. Rebecca and I are reaching out to the people that helped us out before. We got about 80 or so before, and I think those people could handle the 600. But if anybody else knows of anybody else, because many hands make light work, if you could let me know so we can begin to organize that a little bit. We got some time to figure it out. Just let me know. All right, on to our program. Our program today is Mr. Tom Hardiman with the Boys and Girls Club, and he's going to be talking to us about what's going on at the Boys and Girls Club in general and what's been going on very recently. Tom?
Thank you, Larry, and thank you guys for having me on your program today. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Okay.
See a lot of nods.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm in my Charlottesville office today. We're kind of migrating back to work. My real job, I'm a partner in a nonprofit management firm called Hardiman Williams. So I work with a lot of nonprofits on a regular basis. The reason I'm here today is my role on the board of directors of our local Boys and Girls Club. I serve as the treasurer of the board of directors. I've been on the board for, about 10 years now, in many capacities, including the chair of the board. And in 2015, I stepped in as the interim director for about 6 months as we transitioned into our new director, who is Miss Annie Sachs, and I believe she's probably spoken to this group in the past. But yeah, so there's a lot going on. It's been a bit of a rough patch for the club over the last few months. It's been a rough patch for all of us over the last few months. Just timeline-wise, when the school shut down in mid-March, the club essentially shut down. We follow the school's calendar. So when the schools were closed, the after-school program closed. And at that time, which I think is mid-March, March 16th or so, our club had 29 part-time employees and 2 full-time employees. We were looking at what a lot of nonprofits are looking at is how are we going to get through this next stretch? Unfortunately, we had to lay off about 26 of those part-timers. We kept a core team of 3 part-timers and 2 full-time workers. That was kind of our skeleton crew, if you will. And really, we didn't even have enough work for them to do. We just kept them on the payroll. They were cleaning the building. They were taking some professional development courses online, just kind of waiting to see what was going to happen, like a lot of us were. Couple weeks later, we were able to start thinking about reopening while serving children of essential workers. So it's kind of that first phase is child care centers can reopen, and Jeff Fife knows this very well. The Y jumped out there and opened up quickly to start serving children of essential workers. We did in Waynesboro. We have 2 clubs, by the way, one in Waynesboro and one in Stanton. So we opened up our Waynesboro site. Took a couple more weeks to open up the Stanton site, primarily because we don't own that building. The city owns it. So we had to talk with the city and get everything in line. But after a few weeks, we were able to open both sites back up, serving children of essential workers. And that was a bit of a slow process. We didn't have this flood of children coming in right away. In fact, we had 3, 4, 5 that those first few days, and it built up over that time. Did that for about 2 weeks. We had, I think, a total of 8 kids in Waynesboro, and we now have 9 that we're serving in Stanton. So we're able to hire back a couple more part-timers and staff those spots accordingly. But then, as you all probably heard, just about 2 weeks ago, we had a fire in the Waynesboro Club that originated in our kitchen. It was early in the morning, about 8:30 on a Friday morning. Fortunately, those children were not in the building yet. We had some staff in there. The fire department came. Everyone's safe, which is the blessing, obviously. But the fire itself completely gutted our kitchen. Our kitchen is located physically in the middle of that large building. And if you all have been to that building, it's the old Paul Freed dealership building. It's a huge building. Kitchen's right smack dab in the middle of it. So that fire actually caused a water line to break, which sprayed water all over the place. And our sprinkler systems to activate in a couple of the adjacent rooms, which, not surprising to some of you, sometimes the fire doesn't cause the main damage. It's the smoke and the water and the fire department putting out the fire. So, when we had our property committee on site right away, our staff was there. It was pretty disheartening to see that, after we thought we'd cleared this hurdle with the COVID crisis and started to get back into some sense of serving the community again, we kind of get this gut punch of your building's practically destroyed. As soon as I stepped foot in the front door of the building, there was water in the carpet that far up. So it basically damaged every floor surface of that entire building, back to the teen center, all the way to the front door. Smoke damage, water damage, and the kitchen's just completely gutted. We obviously had insurance and reached out through Weaver Insurance. Shout out to Chad. Thank you, Chad. They immediately got people there, got ServPro in there and started cleaning the place up. And that's kind of where we are right now. Is the building is empty, it's gutted, it's dry, but we have not started any kind of rebuilding or reconstruction. And in fact, we're still waiting to hear back from the insurance adjuster as to what kind of amount we're talking about in terms of the damage. It got out in the paper that the fire marshal said, it's probably $120,000 worth of damage. And I thought, that's crazy. That's way too high. It can't be that high. And turns out it's most likely going to be 6 figures easily once you start adding up all the contents and everything that was damaged. So it's going to be a substantial loss for our building. The board, for those of you that have been in that building, it's a big building, but it's pretty choppy. It frankly was not laid out for a after-school youth program. It was laid out to be a car dealership. But we've made the best use of it over time, and have had some board members and committee members come in and make some renovations and adaptations to the building. And we have had some ideas on how to reconfigure some space to make it more usable prior to this fire. So now we're looking at this, frankly, as an opportunity to go in and rebuild it back the way we think it makes the most sense. The fire marshal did suggest that we move our kitchen footprint. Being right in the middle of the building, they didn't feel that was necessarily the best location for the kitchen. So we're going to look at moving the kitchen footprint and possibly expanding the kitchen area so that we can use it more for programming and things like culinary programming for our kids as well. So it's not only there to, we feed the kids dinner every night. So it's not only there to serve them food, but maybe use it for programming as well and help them learn how to cook healthy meals and things like that. So that's some of the ideas we've talked about. Expanding the, we have a computer lab that's pretty tight. We talked about knocking out a wall and expanding that and making our tech center a little bit bigger. Improving the flow and efficiency of the building. And, you know, I hate to say it, but now's the best time to do that. Now that the building's empty and there's no staff and no kids there, we can kind of go in and rebuild it back and make some of these changes. So we're anticipating hearing from the insurance company this week on the settlement amount. We're already talking with some contractors and some other folks and some of our program partners. You know, we work with Project Grows regularly. We've got another organization called Bike Box that's in our building that we work with, that works with our kids. So we just want to talk about the best way to reconfigure this space so it's not only serves our kids, but maybe that big building could be more of a community resource if other nonprofits or other groups want to use parts of the building. You know, we're only in there during school hours from about 3 to 7 Monday through Friday, so the building pretty much sits empty the rest of the time except for summer. So we want to be open to how can this be a resource for the community, and how can we better leverage this building once we get it back and open and running again. Just putting this out there, we started a GoFundMe page and set a goal of raising $10,000. I'm the treasurer, so I know how tight the cash is with this organization. Day in and day out, week in and week out, it's tight. So we wanted to have a little flexibility so that we could start the cleanup and the renovations rather than waiting for the insurance to kick in. And we know there's going to be some things we want to upgrade. For example, all the carpet in the front area space, it was pretty, let's just say, wasn't the highest quality carpet. And after 2 years, it was already showing pretty significant wear and tear. We don't want to go back in and, we'll get the replacement cost for that carpet, but we want to put better floor covering in there. It's a little more durable and something that may last, 8 to 10 years instead of 2. So we're trying to make some smarter decisions as we rebuild this, knowing that we may have to step up and put a little bit more money in than what the insurance is going to cover. So to date, we've raised about $5,500 of that $10,000 on GoFundMe. So spread the word on that, help us hit that $10,000 mark. That'll give us a lot of flexibility to move forward with some of these renovations. That was the quick overview. Lowry, I don't know if you just want me to open it up for questions or how you want to take it from here, but I'm glad to answer any questions you might have.
Yeah, who's got some questions? A show of hands.
I see Doris.
Oh, Doris. Go ahead, Doris.
She might be on mute. She's on mute.
On mute.
Doris,
there you go.
Now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Doris.
I don't have a question, but I would like to say what Tom has to say is very encouraging, and I fully support what he's planned. And so, Tom, I'll be mailing you a letter.
Well, thank you, Doris.
With money, of course.
Well, yeah, the letter would be nice, but put a check in there too, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Doris has always been a big supporter of ours, and just along those lines, we do still have state tax credits available. If someone wants to make a somewhat larger donation, $500 or more, we can offer you up to 50% in state tax credits back, and just right off the top. So we have credits available through the Neighborhood Assistance Program. It's minimum $500 donation, but you get $250 right back on your state taxes. So appreciate the support, Doris.
Is there a cap on that?
No. Well, there is, Lowry. It's $125,000. So if you want to write me that check, I'll be right over.
Oh yeah, I'll be right there. Anybody else? Kirk, did I see your hand? Okay. Anybody else's hand? Wave them at the camera. Hey, Sarah.
I have a question. Just where do you find the GoFundMe site?
Good question. We posted it on our Boys and Girls Club Facebook page.
Okay.
And that's something I can email back to Lowry or whoever if you want to share that with the Rotary, I'd be glad to share that. But if you go to our Facebook page, that's where we're trying to put all of our updates. Our website, not a lot of people go to it, but everyone seems to go to the Facebook page. So we're parking updates there.
Yeah, if you get that link to me, I'd be happy to push that out to the club.
Will do.
All right. Anybody else? Going once, twice. Thank you, everyone. Happy Thursday.
Yeah, well, thank you again. Thank you for letting me speak today, and appreciate it, and appreciate all the support we get from a lot of the people I recognize in this group. So, thanks, and hopefully, Dr. Castle. Hopefully, by the time school gets open, whenever that is, the club will be there, ready to take the kids after school.
And we very much appreciate what the Boys and Girls Clubs do for our youth. Incredible organization. Always enjoy working with you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. One last announcement. Lynn, you had asked where to connect with masks. Shoot me an email, or anybody that has information about the masks, shoot me an email and I'll figure that out. I'm not really sure where to go yet, but it will start with me. So just let me know. Anything else for the good of the cause? All right. Get ready for the bell and the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, and do, first.
Is it the truth?
The truth.
Second.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third.
Will it feel good? Will it
Better friendships.
Fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Have a very nice day.
See you, everybody.
See ya.